Hey, party people! Looks like we got some guys over here hanging on this little merry-go-round. What's up?
How's about a little spin?
Hey, sure thing, bro. Let's give him a little spin. Let's do a little headbutt right there. Whee!
Yay!
Oh, jeez.
Oh, well, at least it wasn't spinning counterclockwise. That'd really make me barf.
Oh, jeez. Oh, yeah, well, spinning that thing gives us a little XP cube, and I guess on that disgusting note, what's up, everyone? Game Master 468 here, bringing the next part of my Kidz 64 walkthrough. If you remember from last time, we went around all of Wallows Hollow and collected all of the disco balls that we need in order to repair the spinny chamber. In doing so, we found out what the spinny chamber is capable of doing. We go over here and spin this thing up here, we come to find out that it actually makes the entire world go in reverse. Basically mirroring everything. So everything that used to be on the left is now on the right, everything that used to be on the right is now on the left, the entire world is now completely backwards. So not only do we get to be super lost as we try to remember where everything is in this mirrored world, but there's also something else that mirroring the world does, and it's not just a cosmetic thing. It's not just like a visual difference thing. It also does something else. It also does something to the various cranks that we've seen all throughout the world. For example, if we go over here, let's go back here. You might remember this thing that I, latched onto in a super sick, cool, awesome pro skills move last video. When we spun this around, it pushed the block outward so that we can go up to the wall hook and go over there to get our disco ball. But in the mirrored world, if we spin it, it goes in the reversed direction. All cranks will now have reverse functionality whenever you spin them in the mirrored world. So if they did one thing in the normal version of the world, you might want to give them a different spin now, because it might do something completely different from this point forward. And doing that will give us the first thing that we're going to be focusing on in this video, this Crystal XP, which is next to this farting moose. That's fantastic. Let's grab that and be on our merry way. With that said, that is what we're going to be focusing on in this video. We're going to be going around and we're going to be collecting every little piece of XP that there is to collect here in Wallows Hollow. And that was the first one that we're going to collect. We're going to focus on the XP crystals first and foremost. Let's do that. Ow, I was trying to be a pro skill and not take fall damage. Before we focus on getting the crystals in the mirrored world, you guys might remember that in the previous video we were actually forced to get XP crystals because they were locked behind, the disco balls were locked behind some doors and required you to get to level 3, and we couldn't get to level 3 unless we got those XP crystals. Well, like I said that I was going to do, I'm going to give you guys a bit of a refresher on where those XP crystals are so I can lump them into this video as I originally intended to do. So let's go ahead and do that. The first one is over here. We gotta get this bomb bird, and we gotta hit this crystal thing that's next to the church, right over here. Fling that over there, and there's the XP crystal right up there. So we go up here, and I guess technically we can get these in either the mirrored world or the normal world. I guess it doesn't really matter, but yeah, but there it is. Alright, there's that one, and then the second one is in this cage over here, locked away. In order to get to this one, we need to climb up the tower that we used in order to get to the spinny chamber in the first place. So right up here, you might remember we had to slide a little pink block out in order to get up here. You gotta climb here again, and at the top of it, there's a little dirt patch right in the center. We can dig right through it, giving us access to the second XP crystal. And there we go. There's your little refresher course on where those XP crystals were. Now let's go ahead and get back to the mirrored world. But anyway, on that note, so there's that, and then, as we just saw a few minutes ago, this also applies to this guy right over here. He gave us a little hint saying that counterclockwise would really make him vomit up something fierce. Well, now that we have the capability to spin it counterclockwise, let's go ahead and do that.
Oh no, counterclockwise. My belly.
Eh? That wasn't counterclockwise.
Yeah, it was. You backwards or something? You look kind of backwards.
Oh, jeez. Hang in there, bro. Don't worry. You got it covered. Alright, let's grab that thing. Alrighty, and then before we progress forward, our next XP crystal is going to be up there, where that fountain is. To do that, we're going to need to go back here, with the little, like, spinny platform thingy. Doop, doop, doop. Alright, we got some XP cubes here to collect. Be careful, because we got some poisonous gas we need to avoid. And it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of tricky to avoid in this area. Alright. So this crank would normally make the water fountain go up higher, but since we're in the mirrored world, the water fountain's gonna turn off completely, so we can actually go inside the water fountain. We're gonna do that really quick while we're here, while the world is already mirrored. So let's do that now. We gotta hurry though, because as you can see, we are timed. So let's run up as quickly as we can. Alright. Let's go. Alright, we just gotta hop on down. Woo! Alright, we're just gonna swim forward. Don't push, like, the dive button or bash button or anything, because it makes them back out, like, immediately after for some reason. So, be careful of that. Alright, there's 4 XP crystals in this section, so there's 3, and then here's our 4th and final one. There we go. Alright. Alright, so now that that's done and over, we're gonna go ahead and flip the world back to normal again. So we can get the XP crystal that's actually on the fountain. So let's head in here. Spin the world right back around. And now, with the world back to normal, let's head back down here again and spin this crank once more. Alright, again, let's avoid the poisonous gas. Here we are, and now this time when we spin it, it's gonna make the water fountain go up, so we can grab this next XP crystal. Whee! Alright. We're gonna go up the stairs. There's also some ledges that you can grab to the right there, but this, I think, is faster. I feel like it's slower to use the little bricks that are jutting out there. So I just prefer to use the stairs, it's faster. And, boop! There we go! Alright, so there we go. That's our next XP crystal there. In order to find our next XP crystal, we gotta go past these little merry-go-round pigs here. And we have a lady over here, just kind of chilling in the mud. What's up, bro? Oh, sneaking into the lady's mud bath, eh?
Yeah. No, I mean,
I'm kidding. There's only one mud bath here. There used to be 2, but the nice big one got turned into an owl pellet pit now. Oh, that's a shame. My brother Bubba went over to that pit a week ago and never came back. It's never been more relaxing. Oh, jeez. Yeah, her brother is missing currently, and you go and try to track him down. And when we do, we're gonna get another XP crystal. And as it turns out, the big mud bath that used to be here is actually here, where the center pillar is. We hop down here, you can see, yeah, all of these like piles and piles of stuff that look like little haystack things. That's actually owl poo. Yeah, I know, disgusting. Oh dear, and there's her brother. Oh jeez. Yeah, we need to get this guy out of here so we can get him back to his sister. Safe and sound. So in order to do that, we need to hop up here, and we need to go through that little shortcut in the wall that we created a little while ago. I believe that was in the previous video. Here we are. We're gonna go through this hole. Alright, what we need to do, we need to grab this golem bird, and I'm gonna quickly hop on down, and then we gotta blow him out of the owl pellets. Here we go. Aim and fire! There we go! Oh, thanks! I was probably trapped in that owl pellet for a week. I did find this neat thing, though. Hey! Thanks for the help, bro. Boop! Alright, we're almost close to our next level. Sweet. Gonna need a mud bath to wash off all that owl steak. Ah, for sure, bro. For sure. Alright, that's another one saved. Now for our next XP crystal, we need to head back inside the church and do this whole platforming section again. You guys remember this one from a couple videos ago. This time, they're going to be doing the entire platforming challenge that's here. We have to head all the way up there to get our next XP crystal. Oh, Poopy! Okay, alright, awesome, cool, bro. That's neat. That's really cool and chill. And lit. And poggers, and all of those other cool things that internet people say today. Am I cool now, guys? Am I like, comment, and subscribe worthy now? Is it cool? Are you gonna hit that bell? You gonna check out our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. I'm not sponsoring Raid Shadow Legends, nor do I intend to. Anyway, here we go. Alright, so once we get up here, this is where we would go into the graveyard. But this time, I'm gonna bash into this owl here. Hop up here to this wall hook. Alright, and this is all new. Alright, we gotta head on over here. Do this. Bash into that owl. Bash into this guy. Alright. And here we are. This will take us to the rooftop of the church. Pretty neat. Now, there's not really a whole lot going on here right now, as you can see. But our XP crystal is up there. How did we get there? Well, first we need to bash the bell to ring it. And now we'll let 2 bats out of it. Awesome. Alright, let's hop on down. Alright.
Going down?
Nope, we're not needing to go down. We need to go up. Let's grab that bat so we can head on to the top. There we are, and here's our next XP crystal. There we go, and that gets us to level 4. Awesome. Alright, let's head out of here, and then the next thing we're going to be doing, we need to head back to the gift shop place now. Get our next XP crystal. More specifically, we need to head all the way to the top of the gift shop again, and through this door. That took us to the tomb, where we got our disco ball. I believe this is where we got our final disco ball, actually, if this memory serves. Alright, and we need to make our way to the top of this area. So first things first, we need to head on over here. And this pillar here is actually something we can push. Do that. Let's go ahead and just bash it. We need to get it all the way to the other side of the room. There we go. That's as far as it goes. Now what we need to do, we need to go over here and grab these ledges. Alright. Let's do a little fancy wall jump to get on over here. And then do another one. Get to this. Dig inside. Very nice. Alright. And that'll take us to a treasure chest, which has our next XP crystal. Boom! Awesome. Alright, and to hop down safely, there's a mattress right there, so you can just jump on that and not take any fall damage. Really cool. Now then, for our next destination, we need to head on over here. We need to head right this way. And we need to get all the way over there to the other side of the cliff. That right over there. Head on over to the other side. It's right next to where the level entrance is, but as you can see, there's a fence blocking our way, so we can't really get over there. So we're going to do a little digging, and I'm also going to get a little bit of health, so I can let go and just do this. Thank you. There we go. Alright, we're going to dig on down here. Alright. I remember this place. We went over here to get the crank. This time we're going to head in this direction. Alright, we need to do a little head bash to get on over here. Hit, 2. Alright, remember you gotta bash into those spiders! Okay! Alright, but not do it that way, because yeah, like I said before, they spin attack you, and if you do that as you're bashing them, you're gonna get hit really bad to your death, as you saw right there. Alright, let's try that again. There we go. Alright, you head bash into the spider, then you can grab the spider web. There we go. Alright. Oh, we got another one. Alright, gotta be careful there, because that one likes to reach pretty far out. Alright, here we are. Alright, so first things first, let's get our bomb bird. And break this, which will give us a shortcut back to the other side. So you can just dig through here, and then you can come back here wherever you want, so you don't have to do that entire challenge again. And then we're also going to blow open this box here to get an XP cube. Awesome. Alright, so the XP crystal that we're looking for is up there on that tree branch. To do that, we need to get all of these owls in the correct position. So we need to get this guy, and we need to shoot at all the owls. There we go, that's the first one. And then here's our second one, and I missed. Usually takes a few tries. This is probably like, here's the thing, right? So like, obviously this game is meant to be like a homage, if you will, to like N64 games and all that stuff. And I would say it does a really good job at doing that for the most part. There we go. The one thing that I think that probably should have been left in the past is the way aiming in those games work. Like, I'm pushing down right now, and he's looking straight up, but the second I let go, he looks right back down again. So I look down, he's looking down, and now I'm gonna let go, and then it recenters himself. So it's like, didn't really miss that, honestly. That's probably the one thing that probably could have been dealt with a more modernized control scheme, because it makes this section a bit of a pain in the butt to do, because I'm having to aim to hit all the owls. But each time I'm doing that, I'm having to, like, basically fight Sid to aim where I want him to aim. So, yeah, that's probably, like, the one little control thing about this game I'm not a super big fan of. But it's really just for this one challenge where it's a problem. Otherwise, I would say the controls are really good. And I enjoy them a lot. It's just for this one puzzle and this one section, this little bit here, where I'm not a super big fan of. I think we could have done a more modern control scheme for just that one aspect. I don't think anyone would be complaining about not having to fight the aiming controls. Anyway, so now the owls are in place, let's head back here. And then we gotta head on over here. Grab this tree branch. Head back that, and there's our next crystal. Sweet. Alrighty, now let's hop down into these leaves so we don't take any fall damage. And now we need to head back to the graveyard over here. And here at the graveyard, we need to talk to our little buddy. Oh, golly. Hey, that spider doesn't look mean and ominous like the other ones. He's all sad. Oh no, what's the matter?
What? Eh? What the heck is this? What happened?
I'm grieving my catastrophic loss.
Oh, right. Was that your mom over there?
Huh? Oh, no, not her. I'm glad she's gone. Jeez! She would beat the heck out of me and my brother every single day. They built that huge grave for her after she donated all her promised inheritance to the owls. But, she had herself paired with my favorite cheese grater as my last punishment. Clearly the only ethical move here is to rob this old lady's grave. Sure, we're gonna do that. Yeah, so to get our next XP crystal, we need to actually help this spider out. We need to get his cheese grater back, and it's buried under the moss spider's grave. Yeah, that person whose name I can't really pronounce, but yeah. So we need to help this guy out. The path is blocked to the grave, so when we do, we need to head on over here. All right, you gotta be careful. There's a evil little fish creature down here who's gonna gobble you up if you're not careful. Alright, let's try to do a little... okay. Yeah, he's a bit hard to avoid, because he likes to, yeah, definitely like turn in weird directions, so it's kind of hard to escape him once he's on you. But there we go, we had a bit of an easy time there. Alright, where's the wall hook? That was... oh, jeez. Oh, gosh, oh, jeez! Make it stop! Okay, anyway, let's head on up here. Alright, and we have a little thing over here. We're not going to worry about that right now. Just ignore the shiny collectible. We're not going to focus on that currently. Just pretend it's not even there. Just pretend it's not even there. It does not exist until I say it does, so... Alright, let's walk around it. I hope I have enough time to get over here. I don't think I do. No, I don't. Nope. Okay, let's try that again. Luckily, blowing that up will give us a shortcut back in here so we don't have to swim down there every single time. So, there we go. Alright, let's try that again. We need to hop down here. We need to use the bomb bird to blow up in this entrance. There we go. Alright, now we can head inside the mom spider's grave. Alright, and the cheese grater is in here. We need to do this. And, oh, that's disturbing. But here's the cheese grater. There we go. We got the cheese grater back. And before we leave, we need to actually dig in here. There's an XP cube on the ceiling of this grave. If I can get up there. Oh my gosh, Sid, please. There we go. Okay. I don't know why that was so difficult to do, but there it is. There's the XP cube right there at the ceiling. Alright, now let's head on back to the spider. Over here. Yeah. Alright, here's your cheese grater back, bro. Oh, well, let's kill this guy first so he's not a problem. There we go. Alright, here you go, bro.
My cheese grater! Thank you, I'm so grateful.
Okay, never mind. I'm putting it back.
Oh, sorry. Here, just hand it over and you can climb up. And help yourself to my treasure.
Alright, there we go. We helped him out. His cheese grater is safe and sound. Now we can bounce on him and grab a spider web. We don't have to headbutt him like the other spiders. We can just bounce up. And we can climb up here, which will give us access to a treasure chest, giving us our next XP crystal. Alright, sweet. Alright, there you have it. Alright, for the next XP crystal, it's actually right next to our spider friend, actually. In here, where we got the first crank. Or the second crank. I don't remember what order I got them in, but one of the cranks. So, it was in this treasure chest here. I pointed out this, bomb bird here earlier, and how we might need him for something, but we can't really do anything with him when he's in this cage here. We're gonna need him to blow up something in this room so we can get access to the crystal. In fact, as you can see, we can interact with this so we can actually find out what it is.
What an awkward painting. There must be some way to get rid of it.
Yeah, it's weird painting. We gotta blow up this painting here, and the XP crystal will be inside. But we can't do that when the bomb bird is in that cage, so let's find a way to get him out. Alright, to do that, we need to head on over here. Yeah, this over here. I was thinking of something else for a second. Alright, we need to do a little head bash. Dig in here. We're gonna be near these dragon things. Alright, in mind when we unlock this little shortcut here, so we can get back here, up here, no problem. Alright. And now that we're up here, we can go ahead and head bash these little floorboards here, so we can get inside the chimney. Boop. Alright. Here we are. And then before we do anything else, there's an XP cube hidden behind here. You can barely see it floating around there. We're gonna grab that. So, there you go. Just remember to grab that while you're here. Alright, so it looks like there's not really much to do in this room at first glance. Yeah, it just seems like a big, empty room with nothing going on. Really, what? Ooh. Ooh, hey now. We got some creaky floorboards here. That's pretty interesting. So what we gotta do, if you might remember a few videos back, we talked to a pig who mentioned something about creaky floorboards.
Hey there, boy. Did you know? Creaky floorboards might have something hidden underneath them.
So, what do you say we take advantage of that advice? Anytime you hear this creaky floorboard, like so, you just need to do a little head bash, which will break the floor open, and we can proceed forward. Alrighty. Alright. Ooh, hey, what's up? The Oinkonomical by Babe Duel Almazard. Interesting. Cool. Hey, what do we got here? Dear Diary, It me, Dr. Awkward. It seems Sniggity T. Yiggins and Oliver Rovano have cotted on to me. One of the specimens escaped the enclosure last night, and Revelo glimpsed hims. Now I wakes up today, and all of them are gonna accept that tat one I just summoned. Revelo and Yiggins likely locked them up somewhere in their dumb building. If they catches on, they may comes back and finds my sacrifices I paid to Spider Pit. So, Dr. Awkward, am going over to Staby's them. Yiggins said he would be blowed me up if I came around there again, but he probably bluffing. Well, that was an interesting read. Anyway, let's proceed forward. Alright, we got some more creaky floorboards here. So let's head bash here. Let go. Alrighty. And we got a little turtle zombie, bro. Let's get him out of here. Owie. Alright. Do a little 3-hit combo and ground pound. Pretty simple stuff. And after we beat this guy, the little creepy summoning circle will go away. And that'll give us a little screw. Let's do that. There we go. And our bomb bird is free. Sweetness. Now we can head back up. And we can use that bomb bird to get rid of that painting. Alright, here we go. Do a little ground pound on the leaf to just go up the chimney. And there we have it. Alright, I'm just gonna go ahead and jump down. I don't care about safety right now. Who needs safety? Safety's for wimps. Alright, in we go. We're gonna gotta do a little wall jump to grab this bomb bird. And just like so, let's get rid of that painting. There we go. Boop. Awesome. Alright, now, for our final XP crystal of this area, we have to do a lot of setting up to, actually get to the XP crystal. Lots of setting up to do. So, what we need to focus on are these 3 graves right here. Oh, and one of them appears to be Dr. Awkward. Oh, jeez. Oh, I guess he, I guess he talked to that guy and, stuff happened. What we got here?
No way, this graveyard is that old. These numbers must mean something else.
Well, as a matter of fact, they do mean something else. Because the numbers on the grave actually tells you the order that you need to hit them. So if we hit them with our head bash, so we got 1, creepy, 2, 3, remember these sounds because they're going to become important later. 1, 1, 3, 2, and 1. Boom! And that gives us an XP, not crystal, an XP cube. Awesome, but that only gave us 1. Oh, and he's not even gonna, mention the fact that it only gave us 1. I guess that was all he needed. Alright, so, that only gave us 1 XP cube, but what about the others? What's the deal here? Well, in order to find the solutions to these other grave, puzzles, because there's gonna be 3 puzzles in all, 1 for each grave, as you can tell. But the other one that explicitly tells us the order of is this grave here. To find the others, we have to actually go around and look for clues that suggest the order of the other XP, the other gravestones. We actually read one of these solutions earlier. That was not me just reading someone's diary just for the heck of it. It was actually, the diary actually explained the order of our second gravestone, Mr. Dr. Awkward here. If we read his diary, he actually tells you the order. And the order is the names that he lists off. He mentions himself a bunch of times, and Mr. Revelo over here, and Sniggity over here. All of those are names that he mentions in his diary, and you need to pay attention to what order he says the names in that diary. So I already forgot what the order of the names even are, but that's okay, because I wrote them down beforehand, because that's how walkthroughs work. So, if you don't remember, the order that he lists them in is 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 3, 2, 3. There we go. That gives us our second XP cube. Alright, and as for the last one is when it gets really kind of complicated, honestly. I guess that second one is pretty complicated too, but this is like the one where I'm like, no, I have to write this down. I'm not gonna remember this. So we need to actually head into the gift shop for this last one. Let's go in here. Alright, and where is the solution to the third puzzle located? Well, as soon as I stock up on some dream soda, I'll tell you. It's this right here. We have this random fish mounted on the wall. Oh, I wouldn't touch that fish! That came from the haunted lake in the graveyard. It keeps repeating some ghastly song. Not to mention some guy named Sniggity sold it to me. Sniggity? What kind of name is that? Well, luckily that's the name of the guy's grave we're trying to get the XP cube from. So, what do we gotta do to get this fish to tell us the order? We just gotta head bash it. Yeah. Yeah, so that's why I say you have to pay attention to the sounds that the gravestones make. Because each gravestone has a specific sound dedicated to it. And you have to pay attention to the order of the sound that the fish is making. To get the correct order for Sniggity's gravestone. I'm gonna do it again, one more time. Did you get all that? It doesn't matter, because I'm going to tell you the solution right now. It is 2, 1, 1, 3, 2. I almost missed that one. 1, 1, 3. There we go. Alright, and that gives us our third and final XP cube. And when we activate all 3 of the gravestones, that cave is going to open up for us, which is going to give us access to our final XP crystal. There we have it. Alright, let's head inside. We have a tiny little platforming challenge we gotta do. We gotta climb this beanstalk here. And we gotta do some wall jumps to get around the little spikes that are on the edges. There we go. Alright, pretty simple stuff. Do a little digging to get up here. Alright, and the XP cube is in this section. Whoa! Oh, yeah, plot twist, everyone. The owl, the dragon, is one entity. It's not 3 separate dragons, it's one 3-headed dragon. How about that? What a plot twist. I guess Alexis might have been onto something after all. Alrighty, well, here we are. So, as you can see, we got a little symbol on his back. And you might remember that anytime there's a target like this, it means we can head bash it. So, let's do a little ground pound like so. Owie. Oh, jeez. Ooh. And there we go. Alrighty. Alright, and that gives us our final XP crystal. And there is one thing we need to get in this cave while we're here, but before we do that, I'm just gonna go ahead and go down the cave really quick to get that XP crystal. Let's go over here. Grab this so we can just ease on down without taking any fall damage. Really simple stuff. Alright, and this is our final XP crystal of Wallow's Hollow. Boom! There we go! Those are all the XP crystals in this area. Now, the next thing I'm going to be focused on are the XP screws. And to focus on that, we're going to go right back in the cave we just left and go back to the dragon. Alright, and then back here where the dragon is, on his back, there's actually something over here. We have a little cage, which gives us our first XP screw. Here we are. Just unscrew that, no problem. There aren't anywhere near as many XP screws as there are XP crystals. The crystals kind of take up the bulk of the collectibles in this area. I guess the XP cubes are the bulk of it, but you know what I mean. Like, there's way less XP screws than there are XP crystals. Alright, so there's that. Now let's head out of the cave again. Alright, and then our second screw is gonna be near the spider's house. More specifically, it's gonna be behind the spider's house. Right here. That's a pretty easy one to miss. Alright, next we need to head on over to the rotating bridge, where we got on over here and unlocked that little wall shortcut. This is a really simple one. We just need to spin it in this direction once, because it's in close to the right position by default. Just need to spin it in that direction one time. And we can head on up here. And we can get this XP screw right over here. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. There we go. Alright, for our third XP screw, actually no, this is our fourth one, excuse me, I know how to count. Alright, fourth one, we need to head on back to the zoo. Now remember, we had a bunch of goo rats we have to get out of here and make it not contaminated. Now that the zoo is all nice and clean, we can walk around with no problems whatsoever. And you might have actually seen the XP screw from here. There it is, yeah, it's in that cage up there. So we need to make our way over here. Doop. Got this little grassy field area. Alright, and over here, we need to go this way. On these little ledges here. And this will be a lot easier to traverse because we don't have that poisonous gas coming out of these vents anymore. So it's gonna be a lot easier to do now that we can just... yeah. Easier to get the screw after you've done the challenge here than it is if you were to do it before. There we go. Alright, there we have it. Sweet. Next, we need to head on back to the rooftops that we climbed onto to try to get to the drill platform. We have this area right here. Alright, so what we need to do... we have these little rotating little platforms here. We head fast and then very quickly grab on here. We can get onto the top of this thing, and what we need to do, we need to lure this owl kind of close to this little tower here. I think that's close enough. I'm gonna wait for him to get a little closer. Okay. So what we need to do, we need to head bash him, and then grab that ledge there. That's kind of a tricky one, because you really have to, like, hope the owl is nice to you, and gets in the right position to get to that area. Owie. There we go. Yeah, so there you go. And if you, missed getting onto that platform from up that roof, you can also just head back this. And then just rotate this back around, like so. Alright, and then you can get up here by just doing that. That's how they want you to get up there, but I did the cool pro skills way, I suppose. Alright, now for our final XP screw... aw, darn it, okay. For our final XP screw, we need to mirror the world once again, and then once we do, we need to find a way to get to the screw, which is at the top of that clock there. Now remember, once you activate that clock, we needed to push a button near the church, so we can get to a little crank that allowed us to change the time. If I can find it there. Yeah, once again, I'm lost in the Wii version of Twilight Princess. That's always a fun time. Alright, in order to get to the crank that makes the clock hands turn, we have to push this button. We're gonna do that. We're gonna be doing this challenge again. Alright, now we gotta spin this crank, and now that the world is mirrored, the clock hands are gonna be spinning in reverse this time around. And I guess in a less extreme manner than they did the first time we turned the clock hands. So, there's that, I guess. Alright, now that the clock hands are turned, we can actually grab onto them so we can make our way up to the screw. In order to reach the clock hands, we need to go this way. So now back to the little music box thing. Alright, we have ourselves a little ledge right here that we can shimmy across like so. And then we can jump up here. and grab that totally the first time. You totally didn't notice that cut a second ago. That didn't happen. This is totally the first time I've done this, with no fails whatsoever. And there's the hands we're gonna go, we need to grab over there, but first we're gonna jump over here and get these XP cubes. There we go. Hit. Oh, poopy! Oh, what a save, what a save. Alright, let's climb up here. Alright, and then here's our final XP screw. Alright, and there we go. Those are all the major XP collectibles in Wallow's Hollow. And that should mean that we're basically done here as far as optional collectibles go. Is what I would say if there wasn't one more set that we need to grab. Whoa! So here's the deal. We have this fine gentleman right over here at this counter. And he says, special offer, bring back 5 bottle caps for a free miracle tonic. Whoa, a free miracle tonic? What's that? Well, I guess the only way to find out is to, well, buy it. But we're a little short on cash, as you can see. We need to get 5 bottle caps. Now you can acknowledge the existence of that shiny collectible we saw earlier. Because now we actually need it. It's important for something. Alright, so in order to get this miracle tonic that this guy is talking about, we need to go around and we need to collect 5 bottle caps, which are hidden throughout Wallow's Hollow. Alright, the first one is one that you, didn't see at all the first time. This is totally the first time we're acknowledging it. We need to go over to the graveyard and we need to head inside the tree. And here's our first bottle cap. Man, I can't believe we just stumbled across that for the first time. That's insane. Alright, and the second one's also in the graveyard, as you can see. It's on top of that gravestone. First things first, we need to go up here. And we need to get this owl over here into position. Boom! I thought I was gonna miss him for a second, but luckily I didn't. Alright, now in order to get this bottle cap, we need to go onto Taco Cat's gravestone, followed by Victim of the Taco Cat Massacre's gravestone. Alrighty then. Okay, I'm gonna wait for this bug to walk on by. Get on this tree branch. There's another XP cube. Alright, we just bash this owl. And there we go, there's our bottle cap. You can also pro skill and just wall jump off the tree and then head bash to get on there, but I thought I'd just go ahead and show the intended way. Just for the heck of it. Alright, so there's our first 2 bottle caps. The third bottle cap is back down here, where we had that crank, as well as did that bomb shooting puzzle to get the XP crystal. We need to jump down here, and this time we need to head bash this spider and climb up here to these branches. We're gonna have some more of those snippety not spiders, snippety bugs, whatever these things are called. Gotta be careful, make sure you time your jumps right so that you don't get hit. Let's jump up here. And yes, spider. Okay, I thought I was gonna get hit for a second, but luckily I didn't. Alright, and there's our third bottle cap. Awesome! The fourth one is near the zoo. You might remember we had to do this to get this turtle over here and get this bomber to blow open the entrance. Why did you leave, Mr. Turtle? I need you to go this way, sir. Alright, we have to do this. You've seen this challenge before. It's not anything new. Let's bash him. There we go. Alright, I have to grab that bomber and blow up the entrance. But this time we're going to climb this pipe up here. And our fourth bottle cap is right there. Awesome. Alright, and then for our fifth bottle cap, we have to do a bit of a challenge to get this last one. It's a bit of a process to get it. Alright, we have more stuff to do with the rotating platform, and this is probably the most complex one of them all, probably. Actually, no, there's one more after this that's even more complex. What we need to do, we need to rotate this twice, go back around through the hole in the wall. I guess while we're going this way, I'll actually show you where the bottle cap is, so that you know what we're even doing. Alright, the last bottle cap is in this cage over here. As you can see, it's locked off, though, which is a bit of a problem. We need to figure out a way to open this gate. In order to do that, you need to rotate the pillar so that it faces this direction, so that you'll have access to this little patch of dirt here. Let's dig inside. And now we're gonna finally use that crank that we got, like, forever ago. We're gonna grab this, and when we spin this around, it's gonna open up the gate, like so. Alright, now we need to go back around. Pop on out. And now we can head on up to the gate and grab our 5th and final bottle cap. Sweetness. Let's head on up here. And let's grab that bad boy. Awesome! Alright, and there we go. Now that is about every single optional collectible there is to collect here in Wallow Hollow. Awesome. Alright, let's go ahead and turn these bad boys in. Here you go, broski. Here's your bottle caps. Wow, you got them caps! Want to trade for a miracle tonic? Heck yeah, I do! Alright, so what do the miracle tonics do? Well, once you drink them, they give you an extra health upgrade. There's a grand total of 2. So there we go, that's our first miracle tonic of the game. We're gonna find the second one a little bit later down the line, but for now, we're 1 extra health point than we had before, which is pretty cool. So, that is every single optional collectible in Wallow Hollow. We did a pretty thorough job there. Probably gonna be a bit of a long video, but you know, that's just how I roll sometimes. So, yeah, with that said, now that we've done all of that, I think we've about worn ourselves thin of any distractions that we have going on here. So, in the next video, I'd say it's finally about time we deal with this owl up here and free Wallow Hollow from his control. We'll do that in the next video. See you then, everyone.